camera, they can only see the commercial. Oh, no.
Guys, I'm super sorry that we weren't live in the first part before the commercial. I was having some technical problems. So I was having some technical problems, and I don't know why my screen is so dark, but we are back. Welcome to Grow with Flo. This is the Encouragers segment, and we are on She's the Boss Radio Network. So, you can, as always, comment. Let us know if there's anything you would like to ask, or if you want to add anything. We are live streaming this. As always, we are here every Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. when the for She's the Boss Radio Network.
Yeah, she's so cute.
And if you
1 minute and 20 seconds.
If you go to She's the Boss Radio Network on Facebook, you can also see these lives as well as all of the other talk shows, because this is a 24-hour radio station. I don't even know. There is a lot going on this Saturday, but let us know in the comments what you guys are up to, because if you're being confident, you are definitely doing something today. So we are getting ready to go back on the air, so you can listen as always on She's the Boss Radio Network on Alexa, TuneIn.com, YouTube for Grow with Flo, Facebook under Jay LaCrate today, but we're going back. First,
Okay, ladies, you ready?
yeah.
Welcome back to the Encourager Show.
Welcome back.
When we left for break, I talked a little bit about, so I was asked the question, how do I connect having confidence with being unqualified? And I began to tell you that for me, a lot of the things that I didn't do was because I had confidence that I was qualified to do certain things. I had a lot of degrees under my belt. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm able to do things, but because of the circles that I've been around, I felt like I've not been confident or qualified to do those things, and it's held me back. And now, probably 10, 20 years later, now I'm beginning to walk in those things that I could have been doing a long time ago. I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker, and I didn't know how. I didn't believe that I could. Even today, I feel like I'm about 25, 26 years old with my kids, because I've spent all of these years raising kids. So I really never had the opportunity to find myself to know that I'm really qualified to do these things. So confidence and being unqualified has a lot to do with each other. But when you know that you're qualified to do something, you walk in that confidence graciously. When you walk in confidence, then you don't concern yourself if you're qualified to do something. You just step out and do it anyway.
So my next question would be, what motivates your confidence?
What motivates my confidence? One, knowing that how other people see me does not dictate who I am. That's the first thing. Wow, people have their thoughts about what I should be doing, what I could be doing. I no longer concern myself with those things. And then I also look at the fact that not only do I have 5 daughters who I have to be an example to, I have a myriad of young people who are watching my every step. So that's what builds my confidence, knowing that the things that I do are not for me, they're for the benefit of others.
Okay. So if there was one thing that you could, or one piece of advice that you could give someone who feels like they're lacking confidence, what would that be?
Pray, pray, all day pray. And then look at those things, and I know you asked for one thing, but it's all ties together. But look at those things that hold you back and ask yourself, or is that thing going to be there once you start expanding to where God is trying to take you? Are those people going to be there when God begins to elevate you? If you look at that and you say, you know what, I don't know, I don't care, you'll begin to walk in a confidence that you never had. Because a lot of times there are people who break down our confidence, knowing and unknowing. I'm not saying that people do it intentionally all the time, but some people do. Some people want to break us down and see how far they can break us down. So what I learned about myself is once I learned faith, once I began to have faith the size of a mustard seed, then I was able to stop looking at what people were doing to try to break me down. And I take it as a challenge to be built up. Because when you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to show you that I can do it. When you tell me that I'm not going to make it, I'm going to show you that I can make it. And that's what builds my personal confidence. So we've had a lot of time where we just come on the Encourager Show and we talk about different things. And I think that this is a really good topic for us to talk about at the time that we're in. One, because we know that there's a lot of things that's going on in our world. And a lot of it is really not new. It's a new way that it's being done, but it's not new. The protests are not new. They are something that has been going on. Um, a lot of the stuff, the diseases, the illnesses that's going around, they're not new, but they've come around. They've been around time and time again, and it's like a lot of us lose that confidence that we can get through these things. That we're going to be in this particular place for a long time, but we don't have to be. So when I think about just where we are today, I think about a conversation that I had earlier, and I had to let somebody know when you don't understand what's going on, it's hard to speak about it. Um, when you don't understand, like, um, the racism, it's hard to speak about it. When you don't understand natural diseases and even a disease, things like the coronavirus, it's hard to speak about it. And what happens now with the social media is there's a lot of people speaking on the things that they don't know. So it doesn't give other people the confidence to know that they can make it through it. And I think that it's important to have the conversations, but have it in a manner to say, you know what, and this is me personally, I don't understand some things, but help me understand it because I don't want to speak on it and be scared out of my wits thinking I can't go out of my house. Um, or I've heard people talk about the riots in Baltimore, and there's riots everywhere. But when we speak on it and we don't know what's going on, it elevates it, it escalates it, it makes it bigger than what it really is. So, like, I didn't want to drive down certain parts of the city because I didn't understand it. But then when I'm looking at it, I'm like, everything is not negative. But I had to understand it. But I didn't have the confidence to go out and do a protest. Do I believe that it's necessary? Yes. But I don't have the confidence that when I go out there, I'm going to make a difference.
I agree. And like you just said, you don't really, this stuff has been going on for so long. It's just now being brought to a different platform, to a different light. The same way, if you think about it, people's perspectives and thoughts, they have always been the same. Maybe they see something new and they want to research it, and but their perspective and their thoughts are still the same. And you mentioned not having the confidence to do a protest. I've done one or two in my life, and that's because I felt really strongly about them, but I knew that I was afraid to be on the front line. So although I'm not on the front line right now, I'm still trying to support the best way I can. But I know that it's that confidence that has to be like, is it really going to help somebody?
Absolutely.
Is signing this petition or sharing this post really going to help somebody?
Right. So, I mean, and that's the reality. And do we really? No, we don't know. Again, we've seen the outcomes of it happen before. Dr. Martin Luther King led protests, Malcolm X led protests, and things have changed. They might not change the way we hope them to change, but every time we get out there and we begin to do a peaceful march, the more we get out there and use our voices, we are seeing that change is happening. It's not happening overnight. It's not making a big difference overnight. But when I think about how the politics has changed and how certain people are getting in offices nowadays, we can we can see that change is happening.
Absolutely. And tying change to confidence, the more that you grow your confidence or expand your confidence, the more there will be a change, even if it's an interchange, um, in, interchange, like self change.
Interchange.
So to me, that just means that if you, and I'll be specific to what's going on in the world, if you are confident enough to stand on the front line or support from the back line, that confidence is going to make a change one way or another. And there has been a lot of change, and you can definitely see it through the news and social media. There's been changes. I mean, there's still similar situations, but there's definitely been changes showing that the protests and the posts and everything, it's been working, especially in different places around the world.
So one thing that I thought about, and I see a little change in it now, is that I feel like our college students are not getting the acknowledgement that they should. One thing that I thought about is when college students were first coming home, it was on the news that they would take the college students for the nursing programs to help with the things that's going on. But it's not just nursing that's going on. That college students can benefit from actually being a part and making a difference and making a change. I think about the SGA of different colleges. I think about the Black student unions of different colleges. Tulsa State University to be one that I know of personally. And with you being in the forefront on the college end, what would be some things that you would recommend to some of our colleges that they can do while they're on break from school, but to be a part of this whole pandemic, the coronavirus, the injustice to our African Americans, different things like that.
One thing that comes to mind, like that, with a snap, would definitely be. I know that there are schools that have connections with different grocery stores. It would be super helpful if while we are on break or while students who aren't on campus are off, some of the foods and pantry goods were packed up and donated because a lot of campuses have pantries for their students, but because no one's really on campus, where's that food going?
Absolutely. And we know that there are a lot of students who are out of school around Baltimore City, around Baltimore County, Harford County, Montgomery County. There's a lot of students out, and it's choking me up to hear people talk about the fact that well, parents can get their kids extra food and they have food stamps and this, that, and the third, but we're in a different atmosphere where kids are home more than half of the year at this point, where they're used to not being home. They're used to getting 2 good meals a day when they go to school, and parents actually have to spend more money having their children home. But like you said, with these schools that have these pantries, donate those to some inner city schools where the kids can actually get a good meal. Stuff that they can make on their own because some of the stuff that I've seen from the pantry, peanut butter and jelly, oodles and noodles, stuff that kids can put in the microwave and make a sandwich and don't have to worry about if the parent is home. I mean, there are a myriad of things that some of these colleges can actually do to make an impact on what's going on. Something that I'm thinking about is actually speaking, whether it's Zoom calls, whether it's actually going to the schools and inviting students out, social distancing, but going to the schools and inviting these young students out and helping them to understand what's going on. Because between food and um, just actually having knowledge, those are two great impacts because they're coming up behind us. If they know that we care, we're feeding them, we're feeding their stomachs, we're feeding their minds, the students are going to be amped up to continue to do what they're doing. They're going to be amped up to get into the realm of us. You talk about people who are vandalizing and things like that. They don't have the knowledge that they need to have a peaceful protest and to allow things to remain the same when it's all said and done. They don't have that knowledge, but when us as college students get on and explain it to the younger folks or those who don't understand, it's going to make a big impact in our city.
Absolutely. And while you were speaking, I was just thinking about different opportunities, and you did mention Zoom calls or hosting events at the school using social distance. And although it is summer, well, officially summer, what, 2 weeks next
No,
week?
next week.
Oof, high school. But although they're not thinking about school, and maybe some of them are thinking about school now, but with our program, we are still having some of those opportunities to allow the students to learn, and I just think that's amazing. And even if we take part of that day to talk about what's going on in the world so that they do have a better understanding and they're not just getting their news from social media.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to give you all the opportunity to chime in. You can go to she'sthebossradio.com, go to the Read Lounge, send us messages. Let's talk about ways to build confidence throughout this pandemic and throughout this um, time of injustice. Let's talk about how we can help other people, how we can encourage other people through this process because we don't want you to give up hope. We don't want you to look at these kids, as we may say, who are just doing our city an injustice. And amazingly, it's not really our kids, it's really people coming from other places that's tearing down other places, like Baltimore City, New York. I watched something where a young lady was recording on Facebook somebody of a whole nother race who was putting graffiti on the walls, and she's like, "We didn't ask you to do that. We want to talk about that. We want to know um, how do you feel about that? How can we build confidence in those around us who are saying it's the same thing. We're never going to see change. It's the same thing these young folks don't understand." Um,
Absolutely. So just let us know in the V Lounge via Facebook, via YouTube, any of the platforms. Just let us know what you guys are thinking right now.
so one thing that I want to do before we go on break in a little bit is actually talk about some ways that our listeners can get involved with what we're doing. I'm excited about Grow with Flow because Grow with Flow has been interesting for me. It's teaching me some things as a mother, watching my girls actually go out and do some different things, but it's teaching me as a mother. And Grow with Flow is a platform that you might find anything from cooking to hauling to real life testimonies. They are running a contest right now where they're trying to get subscribers. And to me, that's the epitome of having confidence because they didn't give up. They started their radio show, The World of Flow, a few years ago. And at some point it's dropped off and they picked up again and they started all fresh. So having confidence to do that, those particular little things. And then to be a business owner, it takes a lot of confidence because you're not going to go in, especially in the nonprofit world, making money. You are going to probably lose more money than you are going to make from the jump. And you have to have confidence that you're not going to stay in that place. And having confidence means you have to do other stuff. You just can't sit there waiting idle and say, you know what, in 5 years, business is going to pick up. But for the first 4 years, I'm just going to lay low and just don't do nothing. That's where that's where having confidence is going to come to play. And I admire y'all for doing that because I see Raven selling coffee. I see you selling paparazzi. I see Sugar doing nails. And you all have some great things that you are doing outside of Grow with Flow. And that's a YouTube channel that you can go on, subscribe, and Jay's gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna get it right today. You can like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Yes, I did. But they have some amazing things, and they talk about some of the things that we did. Another thing that we're about to do is start bringing on guests. We were going to bring on a guest today, but we want to make sure that we do it right. When we bring on guests, we want to make sure that they're following what we believe, and we want to encourage you all through whatever your situation is. It may be something as minute as going back to school, or it may be something as big as you just want to give up on life. We want to encourage you that every day is a new day. You might be going through a struggle, but you can make it through it. That's where the confidence building comes in. And as encouragers, we want to help you build your confidence.
So, with the time that we do have left, I'm not seeing any comments. Not sure if there's anything in the V Lounge. But with entrepreneurship and confidence, you just have to remember that, and you touched on it a little bit, but remember that it is going to take work. You can't just sit there. And I know this is something that I'm working on, but you can't just sit there and think somebody's going to reach out to you. You have to promote and publicize and share what it is that you are doing. So there's so many entrepreneurs out here, and a lot of them are they are promoting themselves very well. Their client base is very high. So we just have to remember that it doesn't matter who the person is, but if you believe in what they are doing, if you believe in them, then it's all you have to do is support. And even supporting does not mean that you have to buy something or that you have to visit all the time. But supporting could just be sharing the post or sharing their business. And with or
send an email.
is all about giving the opportunity to somebody else.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we prepare to go on our last break, I just want to leave you with something because when we come back, I feel like something is being laid upon my heart, and I want to speak to that person or persons who struggle with building those up and building up the confidence in those they love because they lack something. I want to speak to that audience just a little bit because the way you speak to someone or the way you relate to someone has a lot of power in their possibilities of leveling up. How you respond to someone has a lot to do with if they're going to grow or not. So when we come back from our break, I really want to touch on that topic and close out with that.
This is a short break, ladies. You're almost there.
That's the subject of today's business. It's a dog-eat-dog world. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing pace.
Did you bring my bracelet?
I forgot. No.
Wait, I didn't get two things. I had this one thing.
But you can go to the website.
My bracelet.
No, I
Is
didn't.
that what on that one?
Yeah, but I found it on the website, so I'm getting hers. I didn't sell yours.
Okay,
I
I'll give
saw
you
it.
money for mine. You just bring it back when you can bring it.
I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. We were on the highway. I was like, crap, I left the bracelet.
You said first. I said, wait, I forgot to get my bracelet. He said, did you give her money? I said, no, because she gonna say, he said, well, you don't have a bracelet. I was like, I can't sell my bracelet.
No, I didn't sell it.
Okay, this is just a short break, so 15 seconds and we're back.
All right, guys. So we are going.
6 seconds.
Oh, we're back on the air.
The headphones are okay now.
Yep. Welcome back. We are the Encouragers. We are from Baltimore, Maryland, and we are on She's the Boss Radio. And She's the Boss Radio Network. You can find us on Alexa. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us all over. We're gonna get this right, but we are here. We come on the air every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we said that when we came back, we were gonna talk a little bit about. We're gonna talk to the audience of those who struggle with not building confidence in those that you love. So what we want to do is just give you a little snippet of someone who has lacked confidence and has been unable to move forward with their life because they started out as a kid and they were verbally abused by their parents. And their parents would always tell them, you can't do this, you'll never amount to anything. Nobody's ever going to want you, nobody's ever going to need you. And then they grow up and they become young adults and they get in different relationships. And in those relationships, they're dealing with somebody not wanting them, the cheating, the verbal abuse, the abuse of saying, if you leave me, I'm going to do this to you. Or if you leave me, nobody else is going to want you, so you might as well stay. And they get stuck and complacent in these relationships that's not good for them. And then they grow up to be even older. Their kids are grown. And they should be able to step out and start doing things that big people do. But they're stuck with all of these thoughts in their heads and they end up getting married and their husband or their wife is telling them, well, you don't know. If you don't stay with me, you're not gonna have this. And you're never gonna be a good artist. You're never gonna be a good singer. So you get stuck and complacent, and you don't want to. Your confidence is just gone. You start to deal with low self esteem, and you never become anybody. And becoming anybody to me means that you just don't step out of your comfort zone. You might have a job making $200,000, but you don't ever step outside of that. I want to speak to that person who has done these things to this person. I want to speak to that person who has told their child that they're never going to be anything, who has called them outside of their name. I want to speak to that girlfriend or boyfriend who has mistreated their loved one. I want to speak to that husband or that wife who thinks that they're God's gift to the world, and if their spouse leaves them, that they're never going to amount to anything. Let me tell you something. There's a God that's bigger than you. Because you may be dealing with something on your own, I would recommend that you go out and you see what is causing you to mistreat people. Because when you mistreat somebody, you're destroying their world, and you may not ever be in their lives again, but you put this bad thing on them where their confidence is gone, where you feel like you're being built up into this big old giant, but that person hasn't come to you and made you feel that little. I want to let you know that there's something bigger. Find that thing that's inside of you and pull it out, because you're hurting people and you're destroying our world as we know it. When we see our young black men out here and they're getting in all types of trouble, that's because we have said those things to them. We have told them that they're never going to amount to anything. We have told them that they're never going to graduate high school. But I'm here to declare that our young men will graduate high school. Our young men will go to college. Our young men will get the jobs that they desire. I'm here to let you know you can't beat them down anymore. Our young women are going to raise their children. Yes, they may have made a mistake and had kids at an early age, but they are going to prosper. Your words can't beat them down anymore. Because see, we don't talk about that. We don't open those things up because we look at, oh, you're just emotional. Oh, you're just angry. You're just mean. We don't realize what we're doing to make people portray those things, to lack the confidence that they need. So I just want to let you know it's time to stop. It's time to build up those that you love. It's time to make sure that those that you love really know their worth. And if you don't feed their worth, you're going to take away their worth.
And to piggyback on that a little bit, when, and I'm not gonna say bullying, but when you are
Bullying is the word. Bullying is the word.
when you are purposely hurting someone, tearing them down, maybe it's because you're hurt, but you're not doing anything but hurting yourself more, and you are impacting their future in a negative way. There are so many people who have been bullied, beaten down, torn down, and they don't find that confidence until it's too late. Our jobs as humans are to support each other, to raise each other up. And somewhere in the mix, there are many of us who continue to purposely hurt someone. And it doesn't mean that you are not in the right mindset, but it means that you have to take take the I'm trying to word it right, but like it's not about what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. Because you can think you're being as the nicest person in the world,
Absolutely.
but your tone, it reflects a different way than how it's perception.
Absolutely.
So maybe you're immature, you're young, you don't know what you're doing. Somewhere in that time frame, you have to go back and apologize.
Absolutely.
Especially if you can see somebody's facial expression after you're finished talking with them.
Absolutely.
You know you did something wrong.
Absolutely.
So if you're just gonna leave it that way, yes, you're impacting their future in a negative way, but you're impacting your future. Because if you go around in the world and try to make people feel bad,
Somebody's gonna make you feel bad one day.
and where's your confidence?
Yeah. So girl, you were good. You just hit on something that I want to begin to leave the show with for today. People they don't believe that they hurt people. They don't believe that the words that they say or the tone that they say it in hurts or impact people. But what I would say to that person is, it's easy to go back eventually and apologize and say, you know what, I hurt you. I've realized some things. I should not have done it. Because in that moment, whether it's received or not, something begins to feed your soul and say, you know what, I was right. I can do this. I am bigger than what this person made me feel. But it's that apology that is important to say, you know what, I don't want to be that person that hurts you. I don't want to be that person that abused you. I don't want to be that person that while you're trying to climb the ladder, I'm pulling you down. I want to be that person that says, you know what, you're climbing that ladder, I'm going to climb with you. Or you might can't climb with them, but you're climbing that ladder, and I'm just going to hold the bottom of that ladder and make sure that you don't fall off. Because sometimes not saying anything is saying a lot. You don't have to say anything to say I support you. But sometimes when you say I support you, it could come off that I really don't support you. So sometimes you gotta hold the bottom of the ladder and let somebody climb.
Exactly. And so they were just like on it. You were saying to support, and although words saying nothing means a lot, and that goes both ways. If you do feel like you didn't hurt anybody, you just said what's on your mind, you felt like you had to say it, that person isn't going to say anything to you because you just broke that confidence. You made them feel bad.
Wow.
So them saying nothing is them showing how bad they feel. And they can't tell you what's wrong because it's just gonna make them feel better even more. Because it's gonna be you're just being dramatic and stuff like that. Because that's what's going on in the world. Is if you open your mouth, then you're being dramatic or you're not.
You're passive, you're emotional,
Exactly.
You're that. And at the end of the day, what I've learned, and I'm glad that I've learned it, I'm confident that I learned it, is if you don't say anything when somebody hurts or affects you, then you're gonna hurt for a long time. So as we begin to close out our show, we want to thank you again. I'm Trivia.
I'm Jana.
We are the encouragers. We are getting ready to roll out some things that we'll talk about probably in the next show or two. We are going to start inviting some guests. We want to give a shout out, a big shout out to Lakita and Mike Berry because they are very supportive in what we're doing and they give us the confidence to know that we can come week after week to speak to you all. I started out on Facebook and now I'm in a studio. So, God knows best. But if I didn't have the confidence, if I didn't walk with people who believed in me, I would still be sitting in my living room on Facebook Live talking about, I just want to encourage you. Everybody needs encouragement. And again, we talked today about, again, confidence. We started last week, we ended this week with confidence. But if you are that bully, I love the way Jaya said that. If you are that bully that's tearing somebody down, make it right.
So we will see you guys next week at the Encourager She's of Us Radio Network, 4 to 5 p.m. All right, guys. So we are finished with the show, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, come back next week. Bye.